What's going on, guys? So I'm going to share with you guys a very, very powerful tool that honestly, it will absolutely change your life. Now, look, I've told you guys this before, I have the ability to be able to see things and see patterns in a way that I don't think most people can. And now look, I am not special. There's nothing special about me, right? I've just been able to recognize all the patterns that the most successful people in the world are able to do. And I just take as much advantage as possible to be able to apply it into my life to create the life that I want. And I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect by any means. And so I am always still trying to figure out my way around this and still learning, but it has completely shifted my life, being able to recognize these things, not just within myself, but within other people, so that I can then apply them and know what works and what doesn't work. Right now, I was driving my daughters to school. I was like, hey, look, I'm at 1,017 subscribers now. And we were talking, and then my oldest daughter goes like, hey, what was the first video you ever posted? And so I was like, I don't even remember. Let's go look at it. And so I'm playing the first two videos that I ever posted on YouTube. You can go and check them out because they are public. Here's another thing that I want to share really quick. You can literally go back to all my videos that I've ever posted. I have never archived anything. I have never hidden anything. All the videos are out there. And so there's a lot of people out there when they're starting their YouTube channel, as they're developing their character or their persona or their niche, they eventually archive videos because it's not within the same niche of what they're posting, right? So they want the same type of people, the people that are looking for something specific, to be going to that. I'm an open book. I know that's a strategy when it comes to growing social media, but I'm laying it all out on the table. That's just who I am. That is the things that I try my best to be at, is to just lay out all the cards on the table and let people decide. If you want to take a look at those videos, look at them. They are super cringe. I could not stop laughing. I was watching these videos, but just as cringy as they are, this is where the magic sauce is. Hear this out. This is where the magic sauce is. Just as cringy as these videos are, and I could not stop laughing. Even my daughters were both laughing, entertained, but also who is this guy? I asked them, why are you guys looking at this video kind of confused? And they were like, you sound so different. And so the first two videos that I ever posted were 8 years ago. If you listen to those videos, I sound like a completely different man. I literally went from boy to man today. And it's funny because in those videos, I think I was 29 years old. I'm pretty sure I was 29 because it was 8 years ago. I'm about 37 now. I'm thinking back to when that was. That's when my oldest daughter was just about 6 months old, or she had just been born, and I had posted those videos. I was a 29-year-old man that sounded like a little boy. I had just completely shifted who I am today versus who I was 8 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago. I tell you guys this all the time. I am a different person every single year. Every single year I do whatever it takes to become a different person. If I go all the way back to 8 years ago, at that point, I had already started self-development. I was probably a couple of years in trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do with my life. I had absolutely no clue, no direction. Well, I guess I did have some direction. The direction that I had was that I had to learn something. I had to develop my mindset, I had to develop my psychology. I had to become a better speaker, a better communicator, be able to connect with people in a way that I never could. I took the jump. And that's the message of this video. I took the jump. I have taken so many leaps of faith in my life in the last 10 years. It is absolutely crazy. In my opinion, in the last 10 years, I've taken more leaps, right? And when I say leaps, when I say more leaps of faith, when I say more risks, more moments of risks in my life in the last 10 years, than probably most people will ever even get close to in their entire lifetimes. Some people probably won't even do half of what I've done. And the crazy part is that I believe that all those things that I've done in the last 10 years will end up being a small fraction of all the other big jumps and big leaps that I take for the remainder of my lifetime. And I believe that is 100% correlation to why I am where I am today in this lifetime, to who I've become today in this lifetime, to what I've accomplished in this lifetime, and why I am on a trajectory to accomplish my dreams, right? Whatever that may be, whether they change 6 months from now or a year from now, I believe I will create anything that I want. I believe I have the ability to create anything that I want. And I also believe that each and every single one of you also have the ability to create what you want. But it's going to take massive risks. It's going to take leaps of faith. If you do not take those leaps of faith, if you do not take risks, if you're just sitting, in your house on the couch and not taking those risks and just kind of living a normal life with no risk, I'm not saying you won't have a good life. You can definitely have a good life, but you will not accomplish the dreams that you want. You will not create create the life that you want to its full capability, right? You might be able to create a life that is decent and is great, maybe a 7 out of 10. And you might say like, hey, you think it's a 7 out of 10. I'm not saying it's a 7 out of 10. I'm saying you know it. You guys know your life is only a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. You truly know it. You might not admit it to yourself, right? Because sometimes we are not willing to admit that. And so if you're willing to admit that and you can actually see it, and if you're able to actually dig subconsciously or more so consciously and admit to yourself and you know what that 10 out of 10 life is, right? And if you can recognize that, you will notice that it's because you have not taken the risk. There's this saying, it's kind of funny, but it says no risk, no Rari. You might not want a Ferrari. Not everybody wants a Ferrari. I've never wanted a Ferrari up until maybe last year. I got this thing for wanting a Ferrari. I never really cared for Ferraris, but it's not about the Ferrari. This has nothing to do with the Ferrari. I know people with a lot of money who don't have any exotic cars or anything like that. They just don't really care about it. But it's just a funny saying, right? No risk, no Rari. And it is true. If you actually want a Ferrari, if you actually want one, right? It's not about the Ferrari. A Ferrari is a $250,000 car, right? On the low end. It could be even $500,000, $1 million. The average person would never be able to afford that. That's a lot of money. Like, it is a lot of money, right? In the grand scheme of things, it's not. It is not a lot of money. It is very little amount of money. Again, for the average person, somebody who makes $50K a year, $75K a year, even $100K a year, that's a lot of money. Like, think about it. Even if you're making $100,000 a year, can you really afford a $4,000 or $5,000 payment on the car? Probably not. The point here is that if you are not willing to take the risk, then you get to be okay with the life that you have. If you're not willing to take a risk, you get to be okay with the results that you've created in your environment, right? And your environment is the world. Is your country, is your city, is your town, it's your family, it's all those different things, it's your health. You get to be okay with it, right? And again, there is nothing wrong with that, but I believe it's a lot more powerful if you actually admit that to yourself, because then you can actually maybe choose differently as time goes on. If you want change, if you want massive change, you get to take massive risk. And that is all I got for you guys today, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.